Hello everyone, welcome to the 2-Minute Drill. This is Fred Robledo, the San Gabriel Valley Tribune Prep Sports Editor, along with on my left, Aram Talajian, the SGVN Prep Sports Football Writer, and Miguel Melendez, the Pasadena Star News Prep Sports Editor. Folks, we are talking about the Northeast Division Championship. We've got Lancaster Desert Christian 11-2 at Rio Hondo Prep 12-1. Rio Hondo Prep, the winningest team in San Gabriel Valley football history, Miguel. They are playing Saturday night at 7 p.m. Rio Hondo Prep hosting a championship game. They've got to love that, Miguel.
Yeah, every time I mention Rio Hondo Prep, he always brings that up.
That's what they are. They are. They own more CIF football titles than any school in the whole southern section.
And there's no reason why Rio Hondo Prep can come away and add to that collection. Desert Christian has proven to be scrappy. They've already knocked off the top seed in Bishop. They've knocked off a very, very tough and physical team like Salesian in convincing fashion, 14-7 over Bishop and 33-22 over Salesian.
Hey, Bishop can play some ball up there.
Yeah,
that's not a joke. I'm not even being sarcastic.
And that crowd up there, Paulie went there last year.
I know you think I'm joking, Fred, but I'm not kidding.
Just wondering how much football you watch.
They can play some ball up there.
Okay,
that's not a joke.
Sure, you've seen
and
a
they
lot.
got a great bakery up there too, Shots Bakery.
Yeah. Sure, you've seen a lot of football up there.
Well, I'm just telling you, Fred. I follow things.
Go ahead, Miguel.
No, Keith Lair was there last year, and he was just impressed with the atmosphere.
Yeah, Keith Lair, a travel man.
Yeah, he likes to travel.
Anybody that's been to Mammoth Lakes, Fred, you stop Bishop along the way. So, Bishop's right
Miguel,
out.
Finish your point on Rio Hondo Prep.
Well,
they care.
I do want to. They do care. I do want to start with Desert Christian. Kyle Alcaraz is one of the top running backs on that team, and he's not the only one. Chance Goosebeth is also another top running back. Alcaraz has 1,286 yards rushing with 18 touchdowns. Their other running back, Goosebeth, with 1,261 yards and 13 touchdowns. They're definitely a team that likes to run the ball. This could be a quick game, and while these two guys possess this prowess on the ground, I just don't see how they're going to get that much yards against a team that has a tough and big defensive line like Rio Hondo Prep's. Rio Hondo Prep has a school size of about 199 to be exact. And they don't play like a small school in terms of, the kids that they get. I mean, we'll start with Colby Rivera, the quarterback, 6'2", 205. He's got 1,246 yards and 22 touchdowns against just 4 interceptions. Ryan Wiley, a junior cornerback with 6 interceptions. 6'5", junior cornerback. I mean, these guys have a lot of size. And up front with Dave Drain, son of Ken Drain, the head coach there, 6'3", 235. Javier Rodriguez, 6'3", 275. So they definitely
That's a lot of size for Rio Hondo Prep.
Yeah, no question. And Desert Christian reminds me a little bit of Rio Hondo Prep from 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they won the title in 2008 with Charles Quintero and Nick Preciado, 2 strong running backs. And they loved running the ball, really didn't rely on their quarterback. That's what Desert Christian is doing now. Rio Hondo Prep on the flip side is relying more on the pass with Colby Rivera. They do have a strong ground attack with Alex Tycho, who has 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. KJ Moore with almost 500 yards and 8 touchdowns. So they have a balanced attack now, and they've shown throughout the playoffs that they can, really turn it up and not really make it a close game. So I don't see how this will be a close game for Rio Hondo Prep.
You don't think it's going to be close?
I don't see it.
I think they're going to run away with this game.
I think that up front, Rio Hondo Prep has just too much size, and they've played some really tough competition, not just during these playoffs, but during non-league. I mean, they beat a Mid-Valley Division team in Village Christian for the second year in a row.
And I'll tell you one thing about Rio Hondo Prep. My days, just remember covering them. Is they're a different kind of football school, Aram, because a lot of these guys, it's not like they're together 3 or 4 years. A lot of these guys are together 8 and 9 years.
Yeah.
A lot of them start in that Care Youth League, and that's out here in Covina when they're about 6, 7, 8 years old. And the ones that are really big, the ones that are real big football guys, they go on to the Charter Oaks and these other schools. The rest of them, they wind up going on to Rio Hondo Prep, and they're football guys. When you talk about just being organized and knowing what you're doing, they do that as well as everyone. And they have Ken Drain and his staff who've been there forever. These guys are as fundamentally sound. And I covered a championship game with them too against Anza one year. They lost that game. But this is a team, you always know they have a chance in this division because they are going to go against a lot of guys who are similar in size, and they're just so fundamentally sound that they beat a lot of these teams. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take Rio Hondo Prep at home too, because they're at home, and that's a funny little place to play. If you've ever been on the visitor sideline, you step 1 foot back, you're on a hill already. It's just a weird place to play a game. I think it's intimidating for visiting fans to come into that little pit, I like to call it over there. And I just liked Rio Hondo Prep's chances, especially when they're in their own backyard in Arcadia.
And don't forget the wealth of experience for Rio Hondo Prep. 3-year starters who were there last year in the quarters,
Right.
2 years ago in the final, and then 3 years ago when they won the title.
Yeah.
A bunch of experience on that team. And on the flip side, Desert Christian, this is their first finals appearance in school history. So that will play a big factor, I think, given that there's a lot of hype surrounding this game with Fox Sports West broadcasting this game live. Web
I wonder
stream.
where they're going to shoot from.
Well, they'll bring some lifts and some cool stuff to
Go
make
ahead,
it
Aaron.
accommodating. But I just don't see how Desert Christian can really, a lot of nerves will be running on that team for sure.
I want to preface my prediction by saying I haven't seen either team play. And that probably doesn't surprise a lot of people, but I did do some research as far as this goes. And I'm going to pick Rio Hondo Prep in this game, but I think it's going to be a very close, good, back-and-forth game, just because I think Desert Christian, from what I can tell, they can play defense a little bit, they can run the ball, which tells me they can slow the game down a little bit. And if they are able to do that, they're going to hang around for a while in this game. I got Rio Hondo Prep,
Okay.
but I got it close.
So it looks like we have all three of us have Rio Hondo Prep. That game is going to be Saturday, 7 p.m. at Rio Hondo Prep in Arcadia. If you've never been there, it's a fun little place to play a football game. Go watch it. It's the Northeast Division Final. Lancaster Desert Christian 11-2 against Rio Hondo Prep 12-1. Again, that's Saturday at 7 o'clock. Go check it out.